Good morning, children. How you doing? Cowboy Jim here. I hope you had a good night. I hope I hope you're doing well. I truly do. I I've been enjoying myself the last couple of days. It's kind of like I almost feel a little vindicated. I I have great intention this year of being totally vindicated. It is in the interim my desire to present you with some options for your life, as they are options for my life, and perhaps an old rancher's real poor rancher. I've said that before. Kind of goes without being said. I may stop saying it. But just a common man giving a common interpretation of what potentially we deal with. Okay, let's take a run at this, and we'll make her less than 20 minutes. And I'm not going to give you my opinion on anything. I'm Irish, so I may draw back on that one and just throw a couple of ideas. We are confronted in this day with many suggestions. Some of the suggestions are from two different groups of scientists, two different groups of political people of political persuasions that differ greatly from one another. I have mentioned in the past that I don't pay much attention to Canadian politics because, well, quite frankly, I really considered when I was younger of becoming a politician, and I realized that within my person lies the potential for misrepresenting what is reality, which incidentally qualified me to be a politician. Okay. And I mentioned also that Benjamin Netanyahu over there in Israel, I don't hear anything about him now. But he stood for his country with his whole heart. I mentioned Donald Trump down in the States. Oh, people hate him. Oh, gee whiz, a playboy. Whoa. I wouldn't defend Donald Trump for trying to convince you he wasn't a playboy. It's kind of hard because he probably was. But there's something about the heart of a man and or a woman that the truth that is resident within the heart will surface. It will show. And I mentioned the two main parties in the states: Democratic, Republican. Democratic is liberal, as we are. Not me. Don't let my tongue go off in the wrong direction. And conservatives here in Canada, and both parties in the States and here put forth ideas that are up to you to interpret. They're not up to me to tell you what is right. I am a rancher. My mentality, mental acumen, uh, is certainly worthy of questioning. It is. I mean, gee, did you hear what that person said? That's just crazy. Well, I suppose saying something crazy is better than being crazy, unless the reason you said something crazy is because you are crazy. Who knows? Anyways, uh, so that's two groups. I don't really know what Benjamin Netanyahu is dealing with in Israel. I do know that Israel is the focal point of everything that will be militarily significant and spiritually significant in the years to come. Number of which I don't have a bloody clue. Okay, don't have a clue. I mentioned the scientists, our scientists, the scientists in the states. There are two distinct groups, and they put forward an idea. The one group, COVID is going to rule the world. COVID will never leave. COVID is the new norm. That's their opinion. I mentioned Mr. Fauci. I like that little guy. I wouldn't want to be around him. Well, because he wears two masks, and he sits there and tells you you have to wear two masks. Well, he doesn't say that. He says you have to wear a mask, and and his financial well-being since COVID has come on the scene has increased markedly. It's public. Yeah, if you know where to look in the states, you will know the companies that he has invested in, and and those companies have a great deal to do with the fight against COVID. His financial well-being, I think it was 2020, it might have been 2020, I think it was 2020. Um, he made just a hair under $2 million and became known throughout the world as the definitive answer because Fauci, um, I think he's older than I am, um, put forth the idea that you and I uh, have to stay at home. We have to hide. We have to be afraid. We have to be so cautious as to our ability to live to be disabled totally. Now, Mr. Fauci has his opinions, and he has every right to have those opinions. There is another group in the states of scientists, and they put forth, and medical practitioners, and they put forth a totally opposite opinion. And because of a little thing called freedom of speech, they have every right to say what they choose to say. I'm not saying, and I will not say, which side is right, because our ability to survive is somewhat, shall we say, tenuous. It is subject to other people saying, I do not like what that person has said, and thus I'll do everything in my power to eliminate their ability to walk in free speech. So, caution is, shall we say, meritorious if you can walk in it. and I can walk in, more hopefully, uh, my ability to present both sides of one argument and not tell you which one is right. Because then that would be just another opinion, a third opinion. Gee whiz, we have a lot of opinions. I, I, I just so appreciated Fauci. Reporter, I said this the other day. It is meritorious. It bears repeating. The reporter said, now listen, this COVID stuff's going to adversely interfere with my dating life. And Fauci said, why? And the reporter said, well, listen, if I go to my usual website and dating service, whatever it's called, who knows, and because I haven't looked, I don't want to know. Um, I'm content in my own ignorance, shall we say, and my standards. I don't want. I don't want my standards to be like as though I think they're the only ones. They are the only ones for me, but it doesn't mean they are for you. And anyways, Fauci said, "Listen, don't worry. You meet someone, uh, go to bed with them." That's what the reporter asked. He said, "What happens if things get magical?" Fauci says, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, what happens if our supper turns into something?" Fauci says, you mean what happens? Can you have sex with the person?" And the reporter said, "Yes." Fauci said, "Of course. It's only one person." Well, I think that's stupid. I mean, if COVID's going to kill us all, um, and you have to protect yourself, stay at home. Um, don't talk to people. Well, it's pretty easy in a city. Gee whiz. I say hello to everyone. I mean, in the mine where I worked, I waved at everyone every day, everyone, because I wanted them to know that I realized they were there. Let's get back down to the States. So, one scientific group says cloth face masks do not work at all. Well, it's their opinion. Well, they are scientists. Doctors back them up a bit, but doctors back up Fauci's fear mongering as well. I mean, what are you to do when you look at two sides of an argument over the same issue? Well, I don't like arguing, and I won't argue. I just feel it's demeaning because if I argue better than you argue, does it really mean that what I'm saying is right? No, it doesn't. It means that I browbeat you into some submission in some certain way. It's just stupid. It's also impolite. So, down in the States, and I don't mention Canada because we just follow. We're part of that sheep flock of sheep. I mean, we're going to uh, repeat all the drivel. It doesn't have to be true. People only believe a lie if it fulfills their agenda. Get that? I mean, it's not really important what a person says. It is more important why a person says what they say. So you are confronted with COVID. You are confronted with whatever the blazes, that's good. Omicron, whatever. That's really lethal. But they say that it's kind of like equal to a nominal cold. Well, who knows? Who knows? You know the standards that you're going to adhere to. Take time, figure things out. Another big issue, globalism. Oh, geez. Remember I mentioned in Europe about 20, 25 years ago, a group of people got together to ascertain whether they could set up the prelim, the groundwork to a one world government. They did. They drew up all the papers, all the countries that were there signed it, agreed. One world government, one world monetary system, uh, one world religion. Uh, well, they didn't write it in the papers, but Antichrist will head up that one under the auspices of Satan. It's my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. You could take time, study scripture, determine what is all this crap that's going on around us. Well, it's either the imminent groundwork. Oh, geez. This has been a good video. I have to go, children. God bless.